So you're watching Addis News Hour with the news. I'm Tabitha John. Do stay with us. The Ethiopian Parliament today approved a plant seed draft proclamation presented to it by its Agricultural Affairs Standing Committee. The committee told members of the House that the draft proclamation goes a long way to address some problems faced by states. Members of the House raised questions to the committee and received explanations before unanimously approving it. Meanwhile, the 547-seat Parliament on its 17th regular session today also approved a proclamation that determines the relationships between agro-producers and consumers. The Legislative Assembly indicated that the proclamation provides equal opportunities between lowland owners and buyers. Portugal expressed a desire to enhance bilateral ties with Ethiopia, saying that Ethiopia is the European Union's strategic partner. Portuguese ambassador to Ethiopia told ETV that the relationship must be elevated to new heights. The Community of Portuguese-Speaking Countries, CPLP group in Ethiopia, and the African Union Commission jointly celebrated Portuguese Language Day before our staff reporter Kasaun Chane grabbed the ambassador for questions. Take a look at the story.
The African Union has 6 official working languages, including English, French, Portuguese, Arabic, Spanish and Swahili. The Portuguese Embassy in Ethiopia, the Community, a Portuguese-speaking country CPLP group in Ethiopia, in collaboration with the African Union Commission, celebrated the Portuguese Language Day colorfully in the presence of various countries' ambassadors, the international community and members of the Community of Portuguese-speaking countries on Tuesday. The annual celebration of Language Day, according to Luisa Fragoso, the Portuguese ambassador to Ethiopia, is essential for promoting Portuguese language and culture while supporting the idea of multilingualism in Africa.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with you today and talk about what we celebrate as the Portuguese Language Day. It is now called the World Portuguese Language Day, as it was acknowledged by UNESCO as being the day where we celebrate one of the languages that are most spoken in the world. In fact, we would say 4th most spoken language in the world. We heard today our host here at the African Union, the Vice President, speak of this language as one of the official languages of the organization. It is so, of course, because it's also one of the languages most spoken in Africa and overall in the global south altogether. So the Portuguese-speaking countries have created a community which has established this day, in fact, to be the 5th of May, as the day when we celebrate our language, but also our cultures, our identity, as we have heard today. And with that, the linkage that it brings to the 4 continents where it is spoken, with countries speaking Portuguese in Africa in 6 different countries.
In an exclusive interview with BBC English, Ambassador Luisa Fragoso reaffirmed long-standing and historic relations between our 2 nations and stated that Portugal is very interested in deepening its relationships with Ethiopia in an assortment of ways.
You know, Portuguese have been in Ethiopia 500 years ago, so it marks the commitment to the continent and to the country. 500 years ago refers to the time when your country established an alliance with Portugal in those past years. That has to be translated today in the present, and it has to be translated in a way that is that makes sense. We are now in this day, celebrating our culture. But we should also be talking, and we are indeed talking, about our political relations, our economic relations, and how, for instance, it translates. It translates in the fact that Portuguese is being spoken at University of Addis Ababa. I also always come back to the theme because that's the theme of the day, but also because it is actually the bond that makes the people connect.
After first establishing diplomatic ties in 1514, Ethiopia and Portugal have been partners for more than 500 years.
The International African Innovation Digital Conference is scheduled to be held in Addis Ababa in mid-June, according to the Ministry of Innovation and Technology. The summit, organized by the Ministry and Extensia Limited, will be held on June 14th and 15th, 2023 in Addis Ababa. Innovation and Technology Minister Belete Molla today received and conferred with leaders of Extensia Limited in his office. Ethiopia holds the African Innovation Digital Summit every year. Preparations are being made to successfully hold the conference this year too.
Welcome to the land of origins. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia is pleased to serve all your traveler banking needs. If you have money from any of these 16 countries, you can convert it to local currency by visiting our nearest branch. Alternatively, our secure Forex ATMs accept cash exchange, or if you prefer using your cards, we've partnered with Visa, MasterCard, and UnionPay so that you can withdraw cash from our local ATMs or make cashless transactions at thousands of local POS partners securely and with confidence. We are linked with more than 700 global banks through our direct SWIFT address, CBE Teta. We also work with 16 international money transfer agents, out of which Tune and World Remit enable you to make direct deposits into our savings and current accounts or our popular CBE Burr mobile wallet. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, the bank you can always rely on.
ከ400 እስከ 600 ዝሆን የሚታይበት የዝሆኖች ቁጥር በብሔራዊ ፓርክ ውስጥ ከ6000 በላይ እንደሆነ ነው የሚያሳየው። ግን ከ1980ዎቹ ጀምሮ አውራሪስም እዚህ በድርገ ተራራ አካባቢ ላይ የነበሩ አውራሪሶች ሸሽተው ወደ ኬንያና ደቡብ ሱዳን እንደሄዱ እና ከዛ ጊዜ ጀምሮ
አሁን ከኢትዮጵያ ብሔራዊ ፓርክ አፍሪካ ብሔራዊ ፓርኮች የተሻለ ነው ያለው። ምክንያቱም ደነስ ስለሚንከባከብ ደነስ ስለሚታይ ሁሉም ነገር ቆጥሮት በእግር ሳይሆን እንኳን እስከ ባይሮፕላን ቆጥሮ ድረስ አለው።
Welcome back. Chief of the State of Amhara said despite some success achieved in post-war rehabilitation efforts, the situation of people displaced due to the war leaves much to be desired. While conferring with UN Resident Coordinator Catherine Sozi, the chief Yilkal Kafala further urged states to find remedies to displaced people as per the provisions of the Pretoria Peace Agreement. The consultative meeting held between Chief Kafala and the UN staff dwelt at length on a host of issues. Kafala used the occasion to laud the international community and donors for the support they have been providing to help the displaced get through the tough times. Listen to this.
The donor support that encourage us just to bring our people to normal life, and we have appreciation. But the rehabilitation and reconstruction program has started, but it requires a lot of resources, a lot of support. If we don't do as quickly as possible on these people, the peace process would not be viable and long-lasting.
The UN representative, for her part, reiterated her organization's commitment to extend support to help speed up rehabilitation and reconstruction efforts in the state.
People wanting more than the life-saving assistance at this stage. They want to get back to some sense of normalcy, to continue their lives, and we're here as the United Nations working within the framework that the government has put in terms of the reconstruction, reconciliation and rehabilitation, to say what is it that we as the UN can do to support you at this crucial time to be able to prepare for the greater needs that will come in the future.
Another issue of concern during the consultative meeting was ensuring transitional justice. Participants pointed out that if handled well, transitional justice is the key that unlocks the doors to durable peace.
There has been a very clear commitment by the federal level, federal government and all the actors to launch a national process of transitional justice. And that transitional justice, which will bring about accountability for crime, human rights violation committed, is essential to build, to cement, and to make sustainable all effort of recovery and then reconstructions.
The Trade and Tourism Affairs Standing Committee with the Parliament urged the Ethiopian Investment Commission to redouble efforts towards boosting foreign direct investment. This came here today when the committee evaluated the 9 months performance of the Ethiopian Investment Commission for the 2022-23. Ethiopia collected nearly $2.6 billion from FDI during the stated period against its plan of $4.5 billion, a performance which is a 10% increment from the revenue during the same time last year, according to the Commission. Replying to the questions raised by members of the Parliament, the Investment Commissioner stressed that efforts have been made to monitor and assess war-ravaged areas. Listen to this.
Right after the reached peace settlement, the Commission's delegation have been sent to Mekelle Industry Zone and other private industry establishments for monitoring and evaluations of the area. Right now, we have the conducted monitoring and evaluations handy and also discussed with the regional bureaus on how the area would quickly become functional.
Deputy Commissioner of the Ethiopian Investment Commission also reflected on some of the issues raised. Listen to this.
Attracting investors had been negatively affected due to the war, and we are also perfectly aware of the pandemic situations as well. But due to this factor, it was not able to meet our original planned figures. But there are some registered changes even having to deal with issues as such.
In addition, members of the Trade and Tourism Affairs Standing Committee, for their part, urged the Commission to tighten its belt towards boosting FDI.
The revised plan was to gain close to $4.7 billion from foreign direct investment, which we failed to achieve. Yes, it might be positive when you compare to last year's performance, but I would say we need to work aggressively to change this.
በጣም አግሬሲቭሊ መስራት አለብን።
In business news, the Ethiopian Airlines, Africa's biggest airliner, resumed direct flight to Karachi, the commercial city of Pakistan, starting Monday. The first flight that comes 2 decades after interruption saw a trade and investment delegation composed of senior government officials, led by State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Misganu Arega, on board to Karachi. On Tuesday, the much-awaited Ethio-Pakistan Business Forum kicked off in Karachi. The forum aims to foster more commercial and investment ties between the two countries. Tegus Tarnisa has compiled the following report. Take a look.
Ethiopian Airlines first served Karachi from July 1966 to December 1971 and resumed the service from June 1993 until July 2004. The airline resumes direct flights to Pakistan starting Monday. Ethiopian is expected to fly 4 times per week to Karachi, and it will be the 37th destination of Ethiopian Airlines in Asia. In its first resumed flight, trade and investment delegation composed of senior government officials led by State Minister of Foreign Affairs Ambassador Misganu Arega headed to Karachi. The delegation is expected to conclude various agreements reached between the two countries and sign memorandum of understanding on tourism and technology spheres. Pakistani Ambassador to Ethiopia, Shozab Abbas, during the launching ceremony stressed that the launching of the flight is expected to bolster socio-economic ties of the two countries.
And third, that I want to establish very close people-to-people and B2B relationship with this country, because we believe that we are the family of same ancestry. We are the family of same, cordial feelings towards the Africans. So we wish that the business linkages between Pakistan and Ethiopia may enhance to the skies.
During the occasion, Lamaya Deja, Chief Commercial Officer of Ethiopian Airlines, indicated that the airline is trying level-based to launch to other destinations to the near future, he noted.
We are trying our level-based, implementing our Agenda 2035, which one of it is to broaden our destinations. So today we have launched to Karachi, and for the coming weeks we will launch new destinations such as Atlanta and Copenhagen.
Ethiopia-Pakistan Business Forum kicks off today in Karachi. The forum got underway with the goal of fostering more commercial and investment ties between the two countries. Ambassador Misganu Arega, State Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia, stated that Ethiopia has been working diligently over the past 5 years, transforming its policies to attract more international investment, urging Pakistani investors to seize the opportunity.
An Ethiopian delegation led by Minister of Trade and Regional Integration is taking part in the 12th International Annual Investment AIM Global 2023 meeting, which is being held in Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates, from 8th to 10th May 2023. The annual investment meeting, themed The Investment Paradigm Shift, Future Investment Opportunities to Foster Sustainable Economic Growth, Diversity and Prosperity, is a 3-day event. The objective is to identify untapped business opportunities and promote cooperation on a mutually beneficial basis. Ethiopian Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to Israel, Tesfaye Taye, met with Deputy Director General and Economic Division Head at Israeli Foreign Affairs Ministry, Leo Vinovetsky, and Economic Affairs Director, Yehuda Avivi. The two sides exchanged views on how to strengthen the bilateral relations between Ethiopia and Israel in multifaceted areas of cooperation. Trade, investment, tourism, and technology transfer are among the areas the two sides agreed to collaborate in, according to the Ethiopian Embassy in Israel.
Welcome to the land of